Hi kindergartners. We are going to get started on a new project today and we are going to learn about something called an illustrator. Now, if you haven't learned about this yet, you will. An illustrator is a person that draws the pictures that are in books. Now, the illustrator could also be the author. They could write the words to the book and draw the pictures to the book. But for today, we are just focusing on illustrators, the person that draws the pictures for the books. You are going to pretend to be an illustrator. We are going to read one of Mo Willems' books, one of the Pigeon books, and then we are going to illustrate that book for this project. I will do the demonstration in just a second. Okay, so now that we've read the book, what we are going to do is draw the pigeon from one of the pages in the book, okay? So you can kind of decide how to draw your pigeon. I'm going to draw one and then I want you to just watch for now and then kind of pick the pose or the way that the pigeon is moving in your drawing. So to begin with, we're going to draw a bunch of shapes. You are going to use pencil. I am using a Sharpie only because I want you to be able to see well in the video. Make sure you use pencil, and then when you're done, I want you to raise your hand and I'll okay it, and then you can trace over yours with a Sharpie, okay? So I am going to start up on my page, not way up at the top, but up higher, and I am going to start by drawing a circle. Okay, the circle's about the size of a golf ball, and that is going to be the pigeon's head. Now in the book, the pigeon always seems to have a pretty big eye. So inside that circle, I'm going to draw a pretty big circle. That's the pigeon's eye. And I'm going to draw a smaller circle inside of that. And once you Sharpie, you can color that smaller circle in. Okay? Now I'm going to just retrace around this. I had to change Sharpies because the one I was using was running out of ink. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is start by making the neck, which is basically just a straight line down. And then the other one just kind of gets a little bit wider at the bottom. It's not quite perfectly straight. And then the back of the bird or the pigeon goes straight across like that. And then it makes almost an egg shape, but I'm not drawing the whole entire egg. And there are parts that I would draw if I was using a pencil, but since I'm using a Sharpie, I can't. So it looks kind of like a boat also. Over here, I am going to make one of the wings like that. And then I'm going to make the other wing looking like he's kind of holding his arm up. And again, you don't have to make your wings look like this. You can make your wings going in the direction that you want to make them go. The pigeon always has this white stripe right here, so we have to put 2 lines and then we'll leave that white once we start painting. We need to give him his beak, like that, and then we're going to give him legs. Like that. And your legs don't have to, like, you don't have to have a bent leg. I have a bent leg, you don't have to. Now, what we have to do is draw something called a horizon line, which is the ground. Okay, so this is the ground, this is the sky. The horizon line divides the ground from the sky. Okay, now what you're going to do, once you have finished drawing, you're going to raise your hand and get it okayed. And if I say it's okay, you're going to Sharpie it. And then when you're done with the Sharpie, you're going to take oil pastels. Now, it doesn't matter to me how many colors you use, but I want you to use colors from the rainbow. So green, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. You don't have to use all of those colors. You could also use pink, but you are going to make polka dots in the background. This would be the background, and it's going to be like the sky part. I don't want any polka dots on the ground or the floor, okay? So maybe I want pink. You want to push kind of hard with the oil pastels. Some yellow. Now I've got a dirty oil pastel. I should have cleaned it off first. So now my yellow looks like it's orange. Blue. Here's a green. Maybe I want the green like kind of hidden back there. And I would keep on going. I would make even more than what I have. But I'm going to stop now so I can show you the painting part of the demonstration. The beak on the pigeon is yellow, so I'll paint it yellow. You really want to remember to stir that paint good. And remember, if you have like quite a bit of paint on your brush, just dab it off like that so it doesn't run all over on your paper. So there I have my yellow beak. Okay. And my pigeon is blue, kind of a light blue. I'm going to use the light blue. If you want to use the dark blue, that's fine. And I have to remember that that little line needs to stay white. So just be very careful not to paint that line. You just want it to stay white. So you'll paint your whole pigeon. And you also want to make sure that you leave the eye white up at the top. So I'm carefully painting around that. Like that. Now what I need to do is pick a floor color or a ground color, whichever you would like it to be. I think I want mine to be green. You decide what color you want. Yours does not have to be green. But I would then paint my whole entire floor green. So all along here, all the way down to the bottom. Now I'm not painting this all in, but this whole space should be painted in green. Okay, so there won't be any white left on here. I would paint all the way to the bottom, all the way to the side. Okay, now the last step is to pick a color to paint your sky or your wall. Depends on where your pigeon is. I'm going to pick magenta, so it's like a pinkish color. And I am going to paint magenta all the way down to the ground and all the way, I gotta just scooch my project a little, up to the sky. And the cool thing about oil pastels is that watercolor paints will not stick to them. So I can paint right over top of them and it just kind of bubbles up. You just don't want to push hard on them. And I'm going very carefully around my bird so that I don't get my magenta paint into my bird. And you would keep on painting until you have the whole entire thing painted. Again, I'm not going to finish it. You would finish all of this all over in here. But again, I want to give you plenty of time to work. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know.